Hi everyone, it's Talia here from And So We Craft. Today I'm going to show you a step-by-step of how I put together a page from start to finish. So I've already laid out all the photos and now I'm going to put together a bit of a personal collection of papers that I'm going to use for this layout. So I've got this stripy one which has a good range of colours that go with this title card I've already done. And I'm just choosing a bunch of different colours from a few different companies. Got October Afternoon, Crepe Paper, some basic grey, some simple stories, and they're all just going in there. And that's the beauty of making up your own collection pack, is that you can choose the different papers and use up bits that you've saved from other things. So I'm also putting in some stickers and some die cuts. These are a good way of adding sort of embellishments, but they're actually from the Crepe Paper collection pack that a few of the other papers are from, and so that will work well. So I'm basically looking for key colours. That's what I'm doing. I'm just showing you here. I'm looking for this aqua blue colour. I don't think I actually end up using these stickers, but they're baby related, so I put them in the pack. They don't really go though. So now the next step is to cut all the pieces up into appropriate sizes. I like to cut mine up into the 4x6 size and then match them to a photo, and I can reorganize those as I go because all my photos are sitting on top of the page protectors. And then if I need to, I can trim them down to that 3x4 size later on. So at this stage I'm not worrying too much about where the colours are going in terms of the whole double page spread. I'm more worried about how they're fitting in with the actual photos, what the colours look like and that sort of thing. And then later on I can rearrange them and I can put them in the right spots for the colours of the layout. The reason that I can do this is because I don't worry about having my photos in a particular order in the double page spread. So a day that's at the end of the week, like Friday or Saturday, I don't mind if those photos are over on the left hand side, and likewise I don't mind if a photo from Monday, the very beginning of my week, is over on the right hand page. So I because I can just mix it up like that and I'm not worried, it makes it a lot easier and gives me a lot more flexibility. When I'm cutting up 12 by 12 sheets like this, I like to just cut off the 4-inch strip first and then cut it into the two 6-inch pieces, and that way I have a big 12 by 8 section left over, so that if I use it for a different project, because not everything I scrapbook is always project life, you know, I have a bigger spot. Also with these journaling cards, if you do buy a big 12 by 12 sheet like this of them and you don't like all of them, that's okay. I think it's really great to just flip them over and then you can use the coordinating pattern on the back. Okay, so I'm just having a look at my layout now, and I think that that area is a bit too dark with that navy blue in those photos there. Also, if some of the papers aren't working for me, then sometimes it's best to just flip them over and use the back side. And so I don't like doubling up, so because I flipped over that 4x6 portrait piece, I had to flip over the bigger piece that matched it. That's just my personal preference. You don't have to do that if you're doing it. And so I'm also splitting up that dark area with the navy blue, like I'd mentioned before, and making a triangle of colour. So I've got this red, I've got it up the top, on the right, and down the bottom now. so a nice triangle of red, and then I'm going to repeat that triangle with the sort of light yellow lined paper sort of look as well. And so I've got a triangle of that. That's a good design principle. If you're not sure how the colors should fit, try to make triangles. So now I'm also looking at the embellishments, the stickers and die cuts and things like that that I've chosen, and I'm going to arrange them on the page. So I cut them out with the backing on it, and that just makes it a bit easier to rearrange them because I'm not sure exactly where they go. And even at this point, I can still rearrange the photos if I don't think that they're going to work properly. If I'm not going to have enough room for journaling, I can rearrange the order so that they will fit in better. And another thing that I want to take into consideration when I'm choosing my embellishments and where they go is how they coordinate with the colours that I have in the rest of the layout. Obviously, I want them to match in with the colours well, but I also want to make sure that I don't end up with a really green section or really red section or something like that. So I need to be flexible, to shuffle around the photos and the papers and these sorts of things based on what my embellishments are that I'm using. So you'll remember before I'd stuck that piece of red paper up the top there because I wanted to make the red triangle, and that was just to remind me that I needed to put a red embellishment there because I didn't really want to double up the paper so much. So yeah, I've chosen a little red flower that doesn't necessarily go with the photo. It's the right color, and it'll work to finish up my triangle. And so now once like basically all my main elements are there on the spots, I'm going to start sticking them down and making proper decisions about where things are going to go. So you'll also see a few of the photos I've backed with a really light craft cardstock, and the reason I've done that is because photos sometimes tend to just sort of, I don't know, go into the background a bit and get lost in the pattern paper, and I find that backing them on a plain cardstock is a really easy way for them to stand out without taking away from the color scheme and everything that you've already worked on with the layout. I'm just using double-sided tape to back all my photos and stick them on, but there's lots of different adhesives that you can use, and I suggest that you experiment with them. Now I'm looking at some stamps to see if any of those will work with the areas that I've got, and I'm deciding on this little camera stamp, but instead of stamping it directly onto the layout, I'm stamping it onto some plain light craft cardstock, and that way I'm basically going to make a tiny embellishment. So we're really getting to the final stages now, and I'm just going through my embellishments, and I'm looking at these word stickers to see if any of those will fit in at appropriate places. So off camera I added in all of the journaling that I wanted to write, and then I have just a few titles that I want to put in. So I'm looking through all my letter stickers to find stickers of appropriate size and appropriate color for my layout, and I'm just going to add them on where on the parts that need titles. And this is a handy little trick if you're doing letter stickers, is to find a piece of plastic, leftover plastic from a packet of embellishments. Works really well. And you can stick all your letters on just onto the very edge of it, and then you can line it up onto the card that you want to stick it down to, and that way you know if you've got enough space and that you're going to fit the whole word on, basically. These letter stickers by Amy Tangerine are really good because even though they are basically full-size letters and they're capitals, they're quite thin, so you can fit them in the smaller spaces. I just really like them. They're probably some of my favourite letter stickers. Even though I'm not exactly running out of letters in this particular pack of letter stickers, I'm going to show you this technique where you can use both the capitals and the lowercase letters in the one title. It's a really good way to get the most out of your letter stickers, because we all know we have those leftover packs of letter stickers that really don't have any use anymore, and you sort of do need to throw some out. For a word like Anzacs I'm writing here, I definitely just write it in capital letters. So you need to think about it appropriately. The thank you Nana was quite fun and meant to be from Lior, so it didn't matter that it was in capitals and lowercase. So that is the double page spread done. I'm going to put them into the page protectors now. You can see that I have this raised brad that was in this one, and I've just taken it off and I'm sticking it on the outside of the plastic. And the reason I do that is because it will sort of mount the page protector a bit and will make your card stick out a little bit, so it's just to make it easier. And you may also need to just trim down your photos or journaling blocks a little bit as you go, so just do that as you need to. I have a smaller little guillotine that I use for quick chopping like that. In part 2 of this video, I will show you the inserts and how I'm going to work with those. But I hope that you've enjoyed this layout, basically from start to finish almost. And I'll see you in the next video.